We'll see what happens. Live. Sorry, JT, we're on combat zone.
Welcome to Stirring the Pot with Lou Marconi and Johnny Cleveland. Part of the Fanatical L's Network. Fans first. Join us now. Yes, join us. There's Lou.
I'm here.
And I'm Johnny Cleveland. And it is a Monday night Stirring the Pot. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching us live right now. Lou is decked out. He's got his new computer, new head, everything. Mm-hmm. He's looking dazzling there as a podcaster, professional
I got my
podcaster.
New setup. Yes. Well, I get paid to do this. People don't know how much, but I do get paid.
Well, my story I was going to tell you. So I was talking to my kids, my students that I work with, and I work. I was doing we had a presentation on some things for graduation prep, and anyway, I told them about that I'm a professional podcaster. Some of my staff know, and students. Some of my students already know over the years. But okay. I told them about the Fanatical L's Network, so we got a few of our kids to sign up. They went over to Spotify. They went onto Apple Podcasts.
So does that mean I have to watch my language now?
Yes, you do. So anytime now that we do a show, I told them that we would be going on live. We have a YouTube channel, so maybe some of them are watching right now. Mm-hmm. That's Lou. I'm John. And so the Brownies, man, we got a lot there's not a lot out there, but there is a lot. And I know, Lou, you want to talk a little bit about the stadium.
Yeah, we could talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I think people are wanting to know what's going on with Nick Chubb. I'm that included.
I think you'll be after. I think a lot more will happen after the draft, especially in the running backs. It's the class, because this running back class is very good and very deep this year in the draft. So to be a free agent veteran running back that's about to hit 30, it's really tough.
Now, Lou, this is what I started talking about this last night on my show. What if all of this stuff that we're talking about, this top heaviness in the running back game and the quarterbacks suck? What if all of this is like 10 years from now, we look back at this and Shadir Sanders and Cam Ward are all-stars, they're Hall of Fame material, and then the running backs are crap. All these guys that we've seen turn out to be, fluff, and all of this is just the opposite. So any of that possible?
It's bizarro world. That's what we live in. So speaking of bizarro world, there was a survey up here, and I see a lot of Browns Twitter people reacting to it on X, Browns X or whatever. Twitter. Let's just call it Twitter, because it's filled with Twitter. Twitter was perfect because it's filled with twits.
Yes.
So let's start there. There was a survey saying 57% of the people in Cleveland want the Browns to play downtown.
Okay.
I love what my friend Spider said, because I liked it.
What did he say? What did Spider say?
He said. What he said was, now survey the people that actually go to the games. It's like, who'd you survey? Even anybody there. I was listening to the radio on my way back home from the gym, and I'm just listening, and the DJ said this, and he says, I guess it matters who they survey, right? Yeah.
Yes.
It does matter.
Did they not indicate that on whatever?
No, they did not. They just said 57%, which sounds to me like there's a lot of opinion polls that come out to try to not show public opinion, but shape it. And I think it's more of a propaganda campaign, and it's desperation on the part of the city of Cleveland. Look, guys, you had decades to do something. You did nothing. You rushed to put a stadium in place. Because what I do differently when I write my articles and when I podcast, and what a lot of other people do, is I'll talk to fans. I'll sit on the rapid, or I'll sit in the stands, or I'll make concession stand lines. I'm like, hey, tell me what you think. Tell me what you're thinking here. And when we talk about the stadium, they don't want them to leave downtown until I explain to them what the situation is with the current stadium. what's going on with it, why it's in desperate need of just tear the damn thing down. I mean, it's a piece of junk.
It's sitting on a landfill.
It's on a landfill. It's on a 94-year-old foundation. Now it's 2025. So that foundation was poured in 1931. The stadium was built in 1996 through 1999. It was torn down, built in a rush, complete and total rush. They didn't cut corners; they cut every corner.
Yeah,
and it right now it costs $2 million just to keep it up to code a year. And you know where that money comes from? The taxpayers. That's just keeping it up to code, not even maintaining it. Taxpayers. Yeah, and look at this. Look who we got here. We got our first comment. Oh, let me see how this works. Yeah, my mouse is acting strange. Here we go. We got our first comment. There you go, Steve. Build that dome. And speaking of Steve, before I forget, Steve Gill, I do apologize for brain farting and forgetting your name the other day on the Burning River Browns talk. And I do apologize to the fans of the Burning River Browns talk. I had to buy a new laptop Friday night and had it delivered to me overnight by Amazon Saturday morning. And then Saturday afternoon, I'm burning up Johnny's phone, say, let's give it a test run. I want to make sure it works before we go on the air, before we go on live Monday.
And doesn't Lou look dazzling tonight, folks? If you're watching us on Twitter,
I look like I always do.
YouTube.
I look like I always. Windows 11.
No, I was telling the guy, I was telling my students, my kids, I said that Lou, I said to do a Google search and a Wikipedia search on you because you're an pro wrestler,
right?
And all this, I was really building you up. And shout out to those students, and shout out to my colleague, Coach Walland, who I worked in his class, and also Coach Nixon, who had me in their
thanks for commenting, Steve, by the way.
Yeah, Steve, thank you for commenting. And Steve Gill, it was hilarious to me the other day because I was listening to his show. It was a week and a half ago. And
I'm like banging I could not for the life of me
5 minutes, 10 minutes, Lou is going on.
Could not remember his name.
He could not remember.
And I agreed with him. We agreed with each other on the Myles Garrett situation before he signed the extension. And I thought there's like a psychology to what happened, because everybody was saying I'd say the majority of people, not everybody, a majority of people are thinking he's gone, he's out the door, we're going to trade him. We're going to trade Watson too, which the cap hit would have been like $100 million at dead cap if we traded both of them. It would have been insane. They're saying this, they're saying that. And then myself, Steve Gill, maybe a handful of other people. I had Jack Duffin on my show.
Not me.
I don't remember. You were skeptical if he was going to stay. I'll remember that. But no, Jack Duffin gave it an 80% chance he'll sign an extension. He said that on my show, and I was like, okay. I said he's going to be here. I don't know what's. I didn't know if he's going to.
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I cut you off. Yep.
No. I said he's going to be starting opening day. He'll be on the field.
Okay, so let me just transition to Jack, because we're talking about Jack Duffin for a second, because Jack usually is pretty correct.
Usually. He's not 100% all the time.
He did an analysis earlier today, I think, about this Brandon Ayuk wide receiver for the 49ers and Wyatt Teller trade. Did you read any of that? I didn't read
it, but I heard about it, and I'm hearing that rumor too, that Ayuk, Teller, and I was hearing Ayuk and Greg Newsome.
Oh, I wouldn't mind getting rid of Greg.
I knew you would have liked that one. I know you. Yeah, Greg Newsome. Yeah, bring him over with Greedy Williams. So
yes.
So, but so that essentially that's what I was hearing was that there's that rumor, and then you and I were talking before the show. The rumor was that Kirk Cousins did say he's not waiving his no trade clause.
Let's talk about that for a second. Yeah, tell people what you're hearing with
Kirk Cousins. Well, Kirk Cousins, what I was hearing was I'm hearing that the Browns already have a trade-in agreement in principle with Atlanta in place, but it's not going to happen till at the earliest day 2 of the draft, because Kirk Cousins doesn't want to come in when we draft a quarterback in the first round and have to sit on the bench behind another Michael Penix situation. So that's pretty much what's going to happen. I think what the Browns might actually do, they could still get a first round quarterback, but they might just trade into later in the first round and take a guy like a Dart, Milroy, somebody like that.
That name has circulated a lot today.
You want to know why?
Jalen Milroy. Yeah.
Jalen Milroy, Alabama quarterback. He had an outstanding pro day.
Okay.
He did.
But have you watched the film?
Have you watched the film? Yes.
I want you to go back and watch the film, because
I watched him play. I watched him play against Michigan.
Adam, I just think he's Now the other night anyway, I'll let you finish your topic.
Yeah, no. What I was just saying, I'm hearing it could be a dart, it could be a Miller, but if they could trade to maybe 32 or 31 or 30, move up a spot or two or three, and still have 5 years control of that quarterback and get time to develop them under a rookie deal, that's not a bad deal. If they think they could do something with him and they really see that. I think a lot of things what Milroy did well. Jalen, is it Milroy? Milroy.
Milroy. I think you're right.
Okay, Milroy. That he was Tommy Reese was his offensive coordinator in Alabama. So there's a connection there too. And they're thinking they might be able to do something with him. Athletically, he's a great athlete. Great athlete.
It's like I've read about him. I've seen that. I agree on the athleticism. But some of the things that you see from a statistics point of view.
I know. I agree.
It's just like, dude. And I don't know. There's just this constant argument between Browns fans right now about, take the damn quarterback at 1 or 2, or just screw it and do what we always do and take an Abdul Carter or take a Travis Hunter, but still don't have that experienced quarterback, and we're just gonna, play dangerously and assume that we'll get a quarterback that can manage games. And we've seen it. But to be honest, I mean, I'm sorry, Baker Mayfield, and I know I'm not trying to change history, but Baker Mayfield was the most successful quarterback in everything that's happened.
They got rid of that stupid jersey when he was there, and for a while, and then now they're bringing it back all of a sudden. I'm like, oh, great.
There's just this
how creative of you,
I don't know. What do you think the Browns are going to do on day one? Do you think right now, if you
day one, I think they're going to trade to later in the first round, get a quarterback, and I think they're going to take the best player they have on their board at 2.
Yeah, but damn it,
I know you hate it. You hate that. You hate me saying this.
I hate this.
You asked me. I'm telling you.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but. They got
I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, I'll come up.
You and I are going down to the stadium because they got Journey. Damn it, they got Journey coming.
So they want Journey for Shedeur Sanders to be picked.
The Browns are not trading back.
I'm not saying they're trading back. I'm saying they're going to take the best player on the board at 2, and they're going to trade up from 33.
So you're not
from 33.
They are going to take 2, and your guess is they're not going to take those 2 quarterbacks. Unless
my guess is they're going to probably take whoever they think's better between Travis Hunter and Abdul Carter. And they see Hunter as a receiver. He said that. He actually said
Hunter is a special. I mean, when you watch film on
he's a very special talent.
And you watch the film of him with Travis Hunter on the field, Travis Hunter is just like you can see it.
I think they're going to trade up from 33 to be late in the first round. If there's a quarterback they really like somewhere, maybe in the 25 on down, I could see that just so they could have 5 years control of that rookie quarterback, 5 years contract, and that way they could develop kind of like what Baltimore did. I think it was 2018. Yeah, it was 2018 because it was Lamar Jackson was drafted in 2018. That's what Baltimore did. They traded back into the first round for the last pick. And they drafted Lamar Jackson. It worked out very well for them, I would think. I mean, they got a Pro Bowl quarterback, so. Yeah, I mean, it goes to show. So I just think that's just me hypothesizing at this point, making an educated guess. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. The thing is, a lot of people were wrong about Myles Garrett. So what they do is they default to negative and they say, well, he did it for the money.
Yeah.
Or, he just doesn't want to be here. He's just getting paid. Hey, the man earned every penny.
Sure.
Of that contract. Sure. I don't care. And then people were complaining about the cap because of Deshaun Watson. Do you know when that extension and that $123 million starts? 2027.
2027.
When is Deshaun Watson's contract end? Or the actual meat and potatoes of the contract end? After 2026.
Right. Because
so shut up, people.
Right.
Just shut up. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Just do your research before you tweet. Okay.
Yes.
God. I'm like, let Andrew Berry worry about the cap. Okay. Let him worry about it. They're getting players.
So
go ahead.
No, if the team does what you say they're going to do, and then they take a quarterback. So then,
I could be wrong. I'll admit it if I'm wrong. I'm not too proud to admit that I'm wrong when I'm wrong.
So do you think is your best estimate, you think they're still going to try to get Cousins?
Yes.
Not Russell Wilson.
I think what the deal is with Atlanta, they're gonna want the Browns to take on some of that contract, but not all of it. I think Russell Wilson's price tag is a little bit too high.
Does Aaron Rodgers go to Pittsburgh?
Wow, I would love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see it.
Is that the big news? Somebody was posting that yesterday. Big news in the AFC North. What's going to happen? Is that Aaron Rodgers is coming to Pittsburgh?
I would love to see it. I would love to see it because I personally think he's washed, and he's 41 years old, coming off an Achilles injury.
But does that have to happen first for all these other quarterbacks?
No, I think the draft has to happen first for a lot of things to happen.
So you're talking 4 weeks from now, we're still going to be
less
than 4 weeks.
Yeah, I think so. I know Aaron Rodgers, whenever Aaron Rodgers decides to, come out of his, meditation hut or whatever. Yeah. Whatever. He's kind of flaky now, and we all know that. So yes. The reason why I said I'd like to see it happen was because that experiment in New York blew up almost as bad as it did here. At least we have a playoff season.
So now our buddy went to New York to the Giants.
Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston is now a New York Giant.
Mm-hmm.
Bit of news there. The Browns did sign the Jenkins kid from the Chicago Bears, the offensive lineman. Got a couple other people too.
I got the guys here listed. Let me tell you what I think about Jenkins. Did you know he came in as a tackle prospect when he was drafted?
I did. I read a lot that he was very he had a lot of roles that he could fit in.
He played guard out of necessity. He could have taken a contract with Seattle. He could have went to Cincinnati, and he could have. I don't know if the money would have been different or not, but he would have been a starting guard there. Mm-hmm. Why do you think he signed here?
Because I think he knows he's going to play.
He's going to play, but where? Left tackle.
Left tackle.
I think he's going to play at left. I've heard this before. Okay. One of my favorite people at podcast, I'll shout out to him, Quincy Carrier. He had this theory too, and I kind of, when I heard him say it and I thought about it, I was like, what, this makes sense.
DeJuan Jones at right tackle.
DeJuan Jones will still be there, but they don't know about his health yet and how soon he can come back. So you bring him in. He has a 1-year deal. He does really well at left tackle, proves that he's a quality starting left tackle.
Is that what they gave him, just a 1-year deal?
I believe so. So. So if he proves himself as a left tackle, he can make bank. He can make a lot of money being a good left tackle. So we could re-sign him. We could extend him. Mm-hmm. We'd have our guy. So, and then you could put DeJuan Jones over to right.
He had a good year last year. He played 14 games. Now he was injury prone his rookie year. He had some problems there. He's had some injuries.
Yeah, and he's a good player. He was a really solid signing. They got to swing. He's not here for depth. He's here to start. He's quality. Yes, he's that good of a guy. He's here to start. So I'm thinking left tackle. Let DeJuan Jones heal. Jack Conklin's on his last year. Move DeJuan Jones over to right tackle.
Willis. Wait, where's Willis? What?
Jed Wills, he's gone.
Yeah,
his contract expired.
Oh wait,
yeah. Cornelius Lucas was the other tackle they signed. Was the
tackle. And I had I had a few other names here that I
Joe Tryon, the pass rush specialist, Tevin Jenkins, Malik Collins, the defensive tackle.
Yes,
and of course Cleveland's own.
Yes,
Cleveland's own Buckeye Jerome Baker.
So let me ask you this with that in mind, because I said this on my Johnny Cleveland show last night. I think JOK's career is done. And I think they've brought in a healthy number of new linebackers, veteran guys. They re-signed Devin Bush. They brought in the kid from Tampa. They brought in Jerome Baker. And I think that's what's happening.
They had a draft visit with a tackle from Oklahoma State. Tackle, a linebacker from Oklahoma State.
Yeah, there's a kid. Yep. I
can't remember his name for the life of me. I'm brain farting, so go ahead.
No, it's okay. I got you. But if you look at the offensive line, at least going back to there, you got players like Wyatt Teller, D'Antonio, the new kid Jenkins, Zach Zinter, DeJuan Jones, Jack Conklin.
We got a logjam at guard right now.
And Cornelius.
That's why I wouldn't think Teller would be traded for Ayuk. I think Greg Newsome could be traded for Ayuk more than Teller. And I think they moved Tarek to Johnson.
No, I'm working, Lou. I'm working on a new mock draft.
Oh, okay. Have fun with it.
Are working. I want to get your.
I hate those things. They're just
I know.
you
We're
get
a
wrapped
month
up in
away.
them. We've been through all
Right.
these. We've been through so many drafts and so many draft.
Our old colleague, my old colleague Joel Cade, who has worked here with Fanatical Elves, he reached out to me over the weekend, and he'd like to participate in an upcoming mocks where we kind of make fun of mocks. So we may have him on one of the upcoming shows, maybe our Fanatical Elves show, maybe some Thursday night coming up here. But
wow,
I did a mock.
A lot of people watching us tonight.
We do. We had a mock coming up. I took Shadir Sanders. We already talked about that at number 2. I know some people will disagree with that, but at number 33, if this is without trades, now I think like you think there will probably be some trades and some different things happening. But if the Browns don't trade, I have them taking this Xavier Watts, this safety out of Notre Dame. I don't know if you've read
33.
Him. Yeah, at 33.
I heard of him. Yes.
He's a very.
He's going to replace. He'll replace.
Yes.
Who do we get rid of and went to Pittsburgh?
What's his face? Juan Thornhill.
Thornhill. Yeah.
Yeah, he's already pampering and dancing around with a terrible yellow freaking towel.
Yeah. Anyway, he'll get hurt.
So anywho, I have them taking this kid Watts. He's 6 foot. Had 13 interceptions.
Hey Brian, thank you.
Thank you. Had started out as a wide receiver. If you watch film on him, he just has really good instincts, and you could really see where the Browns could use him. I know it's a high pick. The next pick I had at 67, I had that deep running back group that we talk about. I have the Browns this time taking Quinshawn Judkins, the running back
from Ohio State.
Yeah, great career. 3 years, 2 years at Ole Miss, 1,500 yards first year, 1,400.
They could draft more than one running back in this draft.
Absolutely.
I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, with how many draft we have, like about
1,000.
Yeah, we have a lot of picks. We have 1,000 picks.
At 94, I have the Browns taking a tight end. I have them taking Gunnar Helm from Texas.
Yeah,
in the 3rd round.
I wouldn't mind any of that. I wouldn't mind any of that. If they think Shedeur Sanders is worthy of a number 2 pick and he's a franchise quarterback, they will take him. I just don't think they look at him that way. But like I said, I could be wrong. So I think if they think a quarterback's good enough to take it too, they will.
Roll the dice. We have nothing to lose. We're Browns fans. This is the Browns.
Yeah, we got nothing to lose. Like just to let people bitch and moan that we don't pick the right quarterback again. That's all. That's fine.
No, but I mean, like, come on, man. Lou, we've been down this road so many times.
I know. I have my own theory, and if I'm right, I will not do this. I will never gloat if I'm right, because I didn't gloat after Miles.
Oh, come on, you can gloat. It's okay.
No, I'm not gloating. No, I'm not going to do that. No, but I'll just say, people. With the Myles Garrett situation, all I was doing was just being practical. I was saying,
Steve, my buddy Steve,
he had no leverage. That's all I was saying. The man has no leverage.
Or bless his heart, Steve that does the Dog Pound South show.
Yes. Now I remember his name now.
Great colleague, love Steve. He just thinks I'm nuts. He gets so mad at me sometimes. He just because I just talk about taking Shadir Sanders at 2. I'm not just taking him at 2 because he's Shadir Sanders. I think, and I watched film on Shadir's games against Baylor and against
Nebraska.
BYU the other night, and I watched most of the throws. And look, he was inaccurate on some passes. He threw an interception. He got sacked a few times. I mean, there was one play where he's running for his life. One of my colleagues at work earlier today had said something. Well, he'd fit right into the Cleveland Browns quarterback scene.
Run for your life.
But no, I don't think he's that way, and I think that he would settle in. And I think he would learn a lot under Stefanski. I think Stefanski, if he's the quarterback guru, could work really well with this Shadir Sanders. That's why I think he's still in play. But
do you think? Do you have any concerns? I should ask about who his dad is, being the prime time, the spotlight.
Well, here's my, and I know I'm crazy like some fans, but why not take the kid? If it doesn't work out, Stefanski's gone. Who's coming in to coach the Cleveland Browns next?
Deion. Yeah, Deion. Yeah, you want Deion Sanders here.
I know. Yeah. I'm talking crazy tonight, Lou.
Yeah, that's all we need is having Deion Sanders in
No,
Cleveland.
what do you think about that relationship? How do you think it's going to play out in the NFL?
Well, I'm not 100% sure because um, I've seen stuff like this happen before, and it's like a disaster. But I've seen it happen before when it's not a big deal. Because you think about it, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning were very successful, and Archie Manning was their famous father.
But it's Deion, and
it's
you and I know it's
Deion. He's
Deion, and
different.
it's different.
When they have like somebody that's when they have somebody that's like that, I don't know.
It's kind of like that helicopter parent that's constantly like in your life, and the arrogance and the pompousness of the situation is, and you can hear it sometimes in the kids' conversation or in Shadir's comment.
Yeah, and I don't know Shadir personally. I never met him. Don't understand.
No, I know, but it's the
and
way.
I never met Deion either.
Yeah, I guess, and that's true. I guess we're talking about things that we don't know honestly who these people, what they're really like in real time,
right? Real life and everything. But we only go by what we see, and I don't know that whole prima donna glitz and glamour thing. It just doesn't rub me right. It just gives me it gives me the
Cam Ward
heebie-jeebies.
What about Cam? Like, okay, so Cam Ward.
I'm okay with Cam Ward. I just don't think he's going to be there. I think Tennessee's taking him. If I was a betting man, I think that him dropping us would be a shock. But I don't see anybody else trading up with Tennessee to take anybody else.
Well, and they want to make a splash, like our colleague Steve Gillis says down there in Tennessee, that they have a new general manager, new everything down there, new stadium. They really want to hit it out of the ballpark, attract their fan base, which is not much like the Browns fan base. But anyway, let's pause, Lou, for a quick break.
Oh, let's do that. Well, that's a good idea. And don't forget, check out Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. Click on the link, order up some good coffee. It's a local Columbus company. Tell them Lou sent you.
We'll be right back. And we're back. How is that Hemisphere Coffee? Did you have a cup while we were on break?
No, I did not, because it's late at night and I need to get to sleep. So this is water. I'll talk to me in the morning.
Okay. Yes. All right. You want to talk about Cavs?
You want to talk Cavs? We can talk Cavs. Sure.
Are you concerned?
No.
Okay.
So it's a West Coast trip. It's good. It was a very brutal West Coast trip. They bounced back very well against the inferior Jazz team. They blew them out. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And they started out the third quarter with a 20-2 run. I watched the game and covered it yesterday. So they got Portland late tomorrow, and then they play. I want to say it's a Thursday. They have
then they had come home, right?
They come home and they play the Spurs. Yeah, San Antonio Spurs. So
you're not worried at all.
No. No, I say get it out of your system now. They need to figure some stuff out. They won 16 in a row before this happened. So
do they maintain this for number one seed? Boston's coming charging. They're only 5 games back, and there's still quite a few games left in the season.
There's still 11 games left?
Is that what's left?
Well, they're 57-14. So there's 11 games left, and we have a 5-game lead. So that means we need to win 6 out of the last 11 to secure it. So yeah, I think so. What is it? Ethan's got some shit to say.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, they did.
That is true. Yeah, that is true, Ethan.
Magic number 7. Okay, see.
Our colleague Ethan Greenberg with the numbers. Thank you. Going nuclear tomorrow night at 7:30.
Hey, Ethan, anybody watching this show, I have a ticket to see Journey on draft night and the draft show. If you want to go,
you wanted to come up to Cleveland. I know you did.
Want to come up to Cleveland for it, you let me know, or anybody interested, DM me on X. Okay, I'd be happy to just entertain it.
Now, I was telling Ethan off air a couple days ago that, and I've mentioned this on air before, but that we're looking down the road here. But our fanatical L's, we are looking to maybe get credentialed and maybe go out there to Indianapolis next year for the NFL Combine.
I could make that swing happen.
That would be So we're talking about it. I know Ethan was interested. But anywho,
I want to show up and lift. I want to lift with those guys.
Yeah, you should. Yeah, that
How
would
many
be
times I could do this, sir? Come here.
that would
Well,
be great.
did you actually know? I have a story. I did try out for the Cleveland Gladiators.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so tell me what the Cleveland. I should know this.
He will talk to me about that.
There
All right,
you go.
Ethan, thank you. All
Okay.
right, need some coverage up there. All right, cool. Are you talking to me about is that the Journey concert, or are you talking about the Combine?
So.
All right.
No, he's talking to you about the Journey concert.
The Journey concert. Okay. Yeah. So what were we? Yeah, but when I did try out for, it was 2008. I tried out for the Cleveland Gladiators. I was 35, and
Tell me what was that the indoor arena team?
That was the arena team. That was the arena team, and it was at the sports
complex. Back in the day?
I didn't play professionally. No, I played.
No, but did you play in high school?
High school, yeah. I played high school at Brooklyn. I graduated my senior year in football season was 1990, and I graduated in 91. Let me just go and say this. I did really well. They saw what I lift. I did 36 reps of 225 pounds. So they were impressed.
Yeah.
And then they saw me run and they said, "Don't call us, we'll call you." You want to know what my 40 time was? Just so everybody wants to get a good laugh. I'm not ashamed about it.
5.5.
5.6.
Nice.
5.6 40. And I just went, "How'd I do?" And they're like, "Don't call us, we'll call you." Because when I did that, they started pulling me aside. They said, "So you're a wrestler? Which kind of football experience do you have?" So they noticed, okay, this guy's strong.
Yeah.
Okay, can he run? Oh, fuck. Right. They just kind of shook their heads when I did that. Hold on. What? I think.
More comments here.
Ethan thinks it's funny. Yeah. Do the road trip. Okay. Steve's talking about road trip. Steve wants to go to the Combine. Okay. That'd be nice.
We'll have a party. We'll have a tailgate and we'll.
If we could ever get credentialed to go to Berea for press conferences and I can ask questions,
that would be. I think that would be another topic of discussion. I know Ethan. If you're watching and listening, I know you're very interested in what Lou just said.
Yeah. Hey. Well, I mean, they'll do Zoom calls too. They'll do Zoom. I can get on and be like, hey.
We can get the help of our Fans First group colleagues there. Jeff and them are very good at trying to help out with those big.
I do have another Berea story. It was in 1999 when I was interning at Channel 8.
Yes.
And I went with Dan Coughlin to a press conference for a pre-draft visit for, you remember Achilles Smith? He went to the Bengals that draft.
Yes.
He was there and he talked to him and it was great. And I remember I'm sitting there and I'm talking. I drove Danny Coughlin up there. I was just there to observe. And Danny Coughlin was a great guy. Loved him.
Yeah.
But it was so funny because there was a reporter from Channel 19 that was very like, he's sizing me up. It was Ronnie Slam Duncan. I don't know if you remember.
Okay.
He's no longer around. I mean, this is 26 years ago. He's sizing me up and looking at me. So I had to mess with him. So I walked up to him, folded my arms and said, "I'm Mr. Coughlin's bodyguard." And Mary Kay Cabot busted out laughing. She was laughing.
Oh my gosh.
Mary Kay Cabot laughed when I did that, and he just like gave me this look like Duncan, just like because I knew I was being sized up. He's like, because he just was like, well, who's this big dude? Like, who's this big guy showing up doing this? And I was wrestling. I was actively wrestling and in college at the time. I was at Cleveland State. So
nice.
But yeah. So then I did spend a draft day. It was like day 3 of the draft, 2002, when I was working for WKYC. I just got to eat at Berea all day while we did press conferences with draft picks. It was awesome. I was like, the easiest day I ever had here. I'm just sitting there hanging out and eating. Must have gained like 15 pounds, but it was nice.
Really
but no, I would love to go to Berea and do press conferences and stuff like that.
I think that would be something we can definitely talk about. And
of course, we got time. We got time,
Cavs,
guys.
So just getting back to the Cavs real quick.
Sure, I'll say we got off
topic.
You're not
concerned. They're 57 wins, 14 losses. They have a 5-game lead on the Celtics.
Yeah.
You don't think there's any chance that they fall to that second seed?
No.
Okay. So now, but the question is, they've lost in a row. The national media is, saying, can they regroup? And like Ethan was talking about in his comments, I mean, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, all these guys have been shooting like crap.
Yeah.
and that's a concern.
That
like even
started
today,
against Orlando that Sunday
idiot,
night. Yeah.
one of the guys, former NBA guy, he was always mocking everybody. He was doing one of his stupid podcasts today, and he was like, "No one fears Cleveland, no one scared of the Cavaliers, and Darius Garland has got to play perfect, and he's got to learn how to play defense, all this stuff, and they're long series." Will that mental part of the game catch up to the Cavs this year? I don't know. Personally, I don't think the Cavs are quite there for a championship. I do think that they can get to the NBA championship,
the finals,
but I don't see them winning it yet. I just don't think I'm concerned about the mental state of the whole team long term. I think everything that's been happening this year with Kenny Atkinson, the new coach, I think it's all great. I just think that like Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, everybody, they need maybe one more year to actually be able to win the title. If they win the title this year, fantastic. But we haven't been to a final since LeBron 2018. So it's been a while, and this is a new crew. So
let's play the schedule game. They're going to Portland tomorrow night. They come home Thursday against San Antonio. They go to Detroit the next night, Friday. Detroit's been playing really.
Pistons are going to be. They're going to want. They're going to want to. I see that as a loss because I think
We'll see. Then they got the Clippers Sunday here at 3:30. So that's the end of March right there. So
Clippers
then
tough. I mean, they lost to them out there in Los Angeles.
Yeah. Then they got the Knicks. Then they go at home. They got the Knicks at home April 2nd. They got the San Antonio. They go to San Antonio. They got Sacramento here. They've got the Bulls here. They go to Indiana. They go to New York, and then they got Indiana here.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly can win 6 of those 11.
6 or 7 of those games.
I'm more thinking okay, so who are we going to play right now? Who's the 7 or 8 seed? Who would we be stacking up against?
Let me take a look. I have to look at the standings to go playoffs. The 8th seed would. Holy shit! It looks like it would be Orlando.
See, then I think we would beat Orlando like we already did last year. But considering wasn't Orlando the ones that came back and beat us the other night? That's kind of started us on the.
That was a Sunday. That was a Sunday game. Yeah. It's the NBA, guys. It's the NBA.
Yeah.
That could happen. So
okay, so it looks like we could potentially play Orlando.
Or Atlanta. There's only
Atlanta beat us twice at the beginning of the year. They were the only team that could beat us at the start of the season. Remember that?
Yeah, but Atlanta still has. Yeah, they have. Yeah, there's like a half a game or 1 game difference or something like that. I mean, there's 2 losses. Orlando has 38 losses. Atlanta has 36. Orlando has 34 wins. Atlanta has 35.
So if we're the number 1 seed, then we would end up playing the 4-5 matchup, correct? No? Yes.
Depends.
We play the 4-5.
Well, if Boston, we probably would play the 4-5 or
which
the
would probably be right now
or the 3-6.
Who's the 4? Well, it would the
3-6 would be the Knicks and the Pistons. The 3-6 would be the Knicks and the Pistons.
2 plays 7 and 3 plays 6, and so we play 4-5. So who's 4-5? The Pistons?
No, 4-5 is Indiana, Milwaukee.
Okay. See, I wouldn't be afraid of either one of those teams in that. Like I'm thinking like semis. So then you would have the finals, and then
which would be the Eastern Conference Finals will probably be the Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics. Yeah. So, okay.
And we, I mean, like I said, if it gets together right, we could.
Mm-hmm.
All right, what is this?
What's happening?
I'm just.
It'd be nice if there was some breaking news and Nick Chubb re-signed with the Browns tonight. That would be nice.
That would be great. I would love to hear that. And I'm trying to keep up with.
Is somebody
well, the Celtics schedule is much easier, and the teams we're playing aren't chumps. No, they're not.
That's true.
We better not screw around. You have to consider the play-in tournament. Yeah, that's true. Yes, that is correct. 1/8 winner plays 4 and 5. Yep.
1/8 winner plays. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. You're right. Okay, so that's that. So that's where we're at. But no, I not really yet. If this continues, because I just saw where they were at and where they were playing, and they're going on the West Coast on a trip like that, and it's just that was a gruel. I mean, it was a really grueling West Coast trip, and I saw that on the schedule. I was like, ooh, and I had a feeling.
Right.
And the Clippers are a good team. The Clippers are a good team. This is the NBA. I mean, even bad teams are good teams. So it's just, they just have bad records. Like, I mean, the Jazz are young. They're very young. So
yeah. Does Colin Sexton still play for them?
Yep, he was on. Yep. He played yesterday. Mm-hmm. He played.
And the other kid too, that big, tall, lanky guy that we used to have.
Marconi?
Yeah, is he still there with them?
He's still there, but he didn't play. He was hurt. He was
okay.
Out. He was hurt. Okay. Yeah. Let me see.
Oklahoma. Have you been watching any of the NCAA tournament? How's your bracket?
Not really. I don't do brackets because I don't really follow college basketball.
Okay.
And people do that, but no, I haven't been. I really haven't been following it, but other people might. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. But yeah, Ethan, seriously, anybody interested in that Journey concert, just let me know. I mean, because I got I get the tickets, and it's really what it is that they're doing. And I've heard a lot of cynicism about this. Oh, you have a free Journey concert. They're doing something nice for season ticket holders.
That is nice.
I'm like, what are you complaining about? like the people with the Miles Garrett
more details. I'm hearing there's supposed to be details coming out the first of next week as far as us getting our ticket. Like, aren't they supposed to be giving us like tickets?
Yeah, it's supposed to be the first week of April.
I heard different things about it. Like, if you have tickets that you can use your own tickets in the same location.
All right, Ethan, check out Kent State. I will.
But that the tickets would be in the same location as our ticket. Like, we would sit in our season ticket spot. Is that what I heard? Sorry, read something about that already, that the people in the lower bowl might have to shift where they're sitting somewhat.
I have no idea. I have no idea about that. Yeah, okay. I got the email from Harvey. But no, my whole point was about the psychology of it. Like, okay, people were saying, oh, it's going to be bad. Miles Garrett gets traded. Well, yeah, you're going to trade a Hall of Fame player. That is bad.
Yes.
But then he stays and he signs an extension. That's bad.
Yes.
That's still bad. I'm like, well, okay, why? Well, it's $123 million.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's the best player in football. And right now, the last two contracts that I think Cincinnati just signed out to Jamar Chase.
Yes. Where'd that money come from?
Yeah. I don't know. They might have killed somebody.
Trees.
Yeah. They went to a Cincinnati loan shark. So
they don't have any good food in Cincinnati. That's what I heard Jamar Chase say.
When he had no good food in Cincinnati?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Did he go to Skyline Chili?
I know, I brought that up. And then somebody else was on the podcast and like,
oh, that's chili, not bad. I bet Skyline Chili. It's not bad. It's pretty good stuff.
In Cincinnati, come on, man. Jamar Chase is an idiot. I mean, I'm just sorry.
Yeah.
The guy's
he's a goof. He's a goof. But with that being said, it's like their contracts already are higher than what Miles Garrett signed for. And they had to change the name. They had to sell the naming rights on their stadium to sign Joe Burrow's contract. So let's go to this man. Ethan is killing the keyboard. You can't win with irrational people. There are many irrational people in Browns fan base. Oh, I agree.
Including me, Ethan.
All right. Oh, I know. I'm just making the point that like the people with the stadium, they're trying to find negatives about it, including the one guy in the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.
He's an idiot too. What is it, Jeff Lloyd or the other big guy?
Not Lloyd. Not Lloyd. No, it wasn't Jason Lloyd.
Well, and even the guy they're all silly season. I mean, the one guy I used to like who would do the cold pizza show for ESPN. He's an idiot.
Jay Crawford.
He says some stupid stuff too. I'm like,
there's something like
what's going on with these folks?
Well, the mayor months ago, almost a year ago, the mayor was complaining about Mayor Bibb of Cleveland was complaining about with the new stadium at Brook Park that people that work concessions at the stadium, people of color, will not be able to go to Brook Park and work games. Like it'll hurt them because they won't be able to work.
Well, and I'm like you mentioned too before, like there's been a history of this city not doing jack squat.
Yeah.
Do you think people? Our hotel was here and everything. We already know the backstory.
Yeah. Do you think people that work the stadium now wouldn't be able to travel 15 miles to Brook Park to work games, events, plus more events.
Well, we were talking about it on Fans First. I mean, on our Fanatical Elves show Thursday night. The opportunities, the new opportunities for downtown businesses and different things to prosper. They can still. I mean, we're talking about 8-9 weeks out of the whole year, but they could do some new things, some challenging, fun things. Create transportation, create activities, prizes, make it entertainment. It's literally it's a 12-minute drive by car from downtown to the new Brook Park Stadium. They got the rapids. You got the rapids there. You got the train system. All of that can be used to help prosper everybody, including the folks that are downtown.
Including the folks that are downtown. Just remember, guys. Just remember, in 1989, Johnny and I are old enough to remember when the Gateway thing was being argued.
Yes,
and that was the then Cleveland Indians, now Cleveland Guardians, were trying to leave the old municipal stadium. And that you think this place is a dump? That place was worse.
I missed the metal steel pole that you would
right in your way.
You would sit there and it would be partially literally you could wrap your legs around the damn pole and you'd have to do this.
Hey, what kind of show are we doing? Hey. I don't know what you're doing at games. But no, the point I'm making is that everybody that complained about, but once that new ballpark opened, and it was called Jacobs Field at the time, and the team had success, people forgot about that.
Yes.
And I think the Browns have to be successful when they move there, of course, because I think
Lord help us,
they do. But I mean, look, since 1994, when the Cleveland Indians first started playing, they're now Cleveland Guardians. They've had, 10 division titles. They won 10 division championships, 5 playoff appearances, 3 pennants, and twice they were within a whisker of winning a World Series. I think they should have won it in 95. I don't know what happened, but personally,
95, I think they were so good, 100 wins in a shortened season. That's true.
Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah, that is so true.
I love doing shows with him. I love you, Ethan. Thank you, man.
97 was the year where they played the freaking made up Marlins, who were a makeup team that was created out of dust and just built to win one World Series with a bunch of free agents
and they
got lucky and we blew it.
Umpires did screw us in 95. Kenny Lofton tells that story. Yeah. Kenny Lofton tells that story. He says he couldn't believe it. Because I remember that strike zone for who was in Game 6? Who started? Was it Smoltz in Game 6 for Atlanta?
Might have been, or Tommy Maddox.
Was it Maddox? Was it Greg Maddox?
I don't know, but we lost Game 6, 1-0. David Justice, who later became a Cleveland Indian, beat us.
That one home run off of Jim Poole.
No, I never felt like the 95 team was so, but when the 95 happened, it was like they lost, but like you knew it was such a great team. And then
they'll be back.
Prospered, and they did that whole entire latter part of the decade. The 96 season was great, but they got screwed over. They lost to the Baltimore Orioles in the
they got screwed
in the divisional series or whatever. Then they come back and 97 was just so special. And God, I can literally remember we had a 1-run lead in the 9th. Jose Mesa is up there, can close it out. And
he looked like he was going to throw up when he was on the mound. I said,
"Oh no. Man, I
remember that."
We had control.
We did. I know we did.
I'm so depressed now thinking about
it. Just don't even want to think. But I'm just saying, look at the success that team had in the 30 years since they moved there versus what they had for the 40 years before. From 54 to 94, because 54 was they got swept in the World Series by the Giants. They did nothing.
No.
I remember the 70s and 80s when that team was god awful.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding.
86 or 87, they kind of had a little bit of it. They had Corey Snyder. They had
Joe Carter.
Yeah. Andre Thornton, I think, was
Julio
Franco. Man, those are some great teams growing up.
Those are fun. Those are fun times. Brooke Jacoby was a utility infielder.
Yes.
Mel Hall. I'm naming all these guys. Yeah.
Pat Batar or Pat.
Oh yeah,
Stabler.
I said Mel Hall.
Mel Hall, yeah.
Mel Hall, yeah.
He would always put his he'd always have his glove.
Oh, the knuckleballer, Tom Candiotti.
There you go.
He actually made an appearance in a movie about Roger Maris called 61 with the asterisk. And he played a knuckleball pitcher that pitched against Roger Maris to make sure he wouldn't hit a home run. And then the manager for the Orioles just said, he goes, you give him a fastball, you're going to get fined, because he wanted to make sure he did not hit a home run. Yeah. Oh, there's another one. Phil Necro, the other knuckleballer.
Phil Negro, yeah.
Phil Necro, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember, was it Joe Necro that got busted with the sandpaper, scuffing the ball?
Some of those old experiences. That stadium was so decrepit and old that, most nights you could go to a game on a weekday. And I remember doing that in the summers.
Nobody was there.
There was nobody there. It would be like, they announced the crowd as 11,000 fans, and there might have been 2,000 fans actually there, or maybe 3,000. But we'd bring our bag of peanuts that we had bought at the general store in Worcester, Ohio. My old teacher and my buddies would go up there. And
I remember those days. That old stadium was just, it was
like you're saying. I mean, that's why the Browns have got to do something.
Right.
They got to build this dome. They're going to build it, and the Browns have just got to respond. They've got to be good.
That's the key. They got to be good, and I think, or I believe that that a new venue and a new place and a new area would do a lot for this team. I don't think it's the answer to end all be all, because I'm not going to guarantee they're going to have this great amount of success, but we have to think about it. I mean, we have to really consider maybe a move will do you good. Change will do us good. And change isn't always bad, people. People fear it a lot of times, but it's not always bad. No. Are you ready to wrap up?
Yeah, Lou, anything else you want to talk about before we leave?
You'd watch the game on Channel 43 with nobody there. There were more vendors than fans. Yes.
Joe
Tate and Bruce Drennan. Joe Tate and Bruce Drennan doing the games. I loved it.
I remember her doing the radio show. Herb Score back in the day when I was a kid. You'd sit on the
long fly ball. Could be fair, could be foul. And it is.
Well, Lou, I hope you have a good night.
You too, sir. I hope everybody has a good night. Ethan, thank you again, man.
Follow us here. Download us on Apple, on Spotify. We really appreciate
Jack Corrigan.
that.
Holy crap. Jack Corrigan. That's a name from the past.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, wow. Wow, we're talking all kinds of – but, yeah, those were the days, my friend. What they never end. That's an old song. Those were the days, my friend. I think they never end. I don't know. Who does that song? Somebody tell me. Not Journey. It's not Journey. It's not Journey. All right, guys. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Hey, Fanatical Elves Network. Check it out. Check out Friday night, Burning River Browns Talk with Sherry. Appreciate all you guys.
I got the wrong music, but that's okay. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.